Alrighty, guys, we're back for the Sea Graveyard, and this is a Final Fantasy Standard brew, and I'm Red Cat. Let's briefly go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked. We have 3 Vanille, Cheerful Lassie, and 3 Fang, Fearless Lassie. Kinda sorta the main build-arounds here. Vanille's a 4 mana, 3/2 legendary creature. When it enters, mill 2 cards, return a permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. At the beginning of your first main phase, if you both own and control Vanille and a creature named Fang, Fearless Lassie, you may pay 3 a black and a green. If you do, exile them, meld them into Ragnarok, Divine Deliverance, which is a 7/6 legendary creature, Vigilance, Menace, Trample, Reach, and Haste. Okay. When Ragnarok dies, destroy target permanent and return target non-legendary permanent card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Really cool stuff, huh? So Fang, Fearless Lassie, is a 3 mana 2/3 legendary creature, of course. Whenever one or more cards leave your graveyard, you draw a card and lose 1 life. This ability triggers only once each turn, unfortunately, but it should still keep your hand nice and stocked up, huh? More neat cards from the new set, more neat uncommons at that, which is pretty cool. Exdeath Void Warlock is a 3 mana 3/3 legendary creature. When it enters, you gain 3 life. At the beginning of your end step, if there are 6 or more permanent cards in your graveyard, transform Exdeath. Transforms into Neo Exdeath Dimensions End. Its power is equal to the number of permanent cards in your graveyard. Its toughness is 3, and it does have trample, which is pretty nice. Oh, it should be all too easy to transform this too, huh? So we have 3 Honest Rutsteins here. This is one we don't see very often. 3 mana 3/2 legendary creature. When it enters, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Nice. How about the top end real quick? We have 3 Summon Titans. 5 mana 7/7 Reach, Trample, Enchantment Creature Saga Giant. For Chapter 1 of this creature saga, mill 5 cards. Chapter 2, return all land cards from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Chapter 3, until end of turn, another target creature you control gains trample and +X/+X, where X is the number of lands you control. Okay, cool stuff, man. A lot of cool things packed into this one. Also here on the top end, we have 3 Overlord of the Balemurks. Of course, we're looking at that impending cost, so we can do some rearranging, but in this deck list, it's not going to be unheard of to actually cast this out as a 5 mana creature and be pretty happy about it. Or a 4 mana creature if you have Honest Rutstein on the board, huh? Also here at the top end, we have a single, lonely, overwhelming remorse. Is this actually enough? Probably not. Maybe we'll talk more about that in the final thoughts. We have 3 Huskburster Swarms, an 8 mana 6/6 Menace Death Touch, but it costs 1 less to cast for each creature card you own in exile and in your graveyard as well. Now here at the front of the build, we have some ramp with the Llanowar Elves, all 4 of them packed in. We have 3 Molt Tenders too. So 1 green mana, 1/1, you can tap it to mill a card, or you can tap it, exile a card from your graveyard, add 1 mana of any color. Cool. We do have some more removal packed in outside of the 1 Overwhelming Remorse. We have all 4 Quag Feasts. So 2 mana sorcery, choose target creature, planeswalker, or vehicle, mill 2 cards, then destroy the chosen permanent if its mana value is less than or equal to the number of cards in your graveyard, which should take care of most things, hopefully. So we have 3 Esper Origins, 2 mana sorcery, surveil 2, you gain 2 life. If this was cast from your graveyard, you exile it, then put it onto the battlefield transformed under its owner's control with a finality counter on it. So it has flashback for 3 and a green, that's how you cast it back from the grave. So it comes out as Summon Esper Maduin, something like that. It's a 4/4 enchantment creature saga elemental. So for the first chapter of this saga, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a permanent card, put it into your hand. Chapter 2, add 2 green mana. Chapter 3, other creatures you control get +2/+2 and gain trample until end of turn. Seemingly powerful card, huh? Another new one, guys. My goodness, Resentful Revelation is a 2 mana sorcery. Look at the top 3 cards of your library, put 1 of them into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. Also has a flashback cost for 7 mana. I think it'll be pretty decent in here. Over in the mana base, we are opting for a Zanarkand. We even have a great Arashin city packed in here as some utility land. We have a couple Fabled Passage. We do have a Plaza of Heroes. We have a lot of legendaries in here. 4 Wastewood Verge, 4 Underground Mortuaries, and a couple Blooming Marsh, with a pretty even split in the mana base overall. Okay, guys, honorable mentions. If you couldn't tell, I wanted to try to do something different, something other than up the beanstalk with top-end Hollow Marauder. But if we went the Marauder route, then we could have tried out the brand spanking new Diamond weapon as well. So if you guys are interested in that version of Golgari Graveyard, let me know. Midgar also almost made the cut. Okay, I do my dandiest to save the more in-depth discussion for the end of the video, so look forward to that. In the meantime, let's go ahead, take this into some ranked, see how we do. All right, we'll see if we can get right into that first game. In the meantime, what am I expecting from the build? I have no idea. It's probably going to be a little jankier than that other version of Golgari that I mentioned, right? So, but we'll see. It could end up being pretty darn good. We go first. This is a great hand. Yeah, I'm keeping this. We don't even have to worry about Mortuary. We start with Marsh. Oh, opponent. Oh, I don't think... How many times did they mulligan? Oh no, opponent. Wait. Stick around, buddy. Stick around. Let's play it out. Oh, they went down to 4. Oh, no, guys. Okay, well. That gives us a slight advantage, but you never know. They could pull this back. All right, ramping right into a Fang is pretty sick, and they are missing mana, guys. Uh-oh. All right, I'm gonna actually just get... Nah, I'll keep it. I'll keep Quag Feast. No, because I want to surveil deeper with the Esper Origins. Huskburster we can send. Exdeath is pretty okay, I guess. It's a creature that we can actually play right now. I don't know. We do have a forest on the board with the Mortuary. Hey, they find their second mana. That's probably good news. We do have 4 mana for the Esper Origins, which is probably better than the Exdeath, so I guess we could have sent it, right? I'm going to start with the draw. Also, Llanowar Elves sticking around so long, I'm not used to that at all. We didn't even need the untapped mana. Speaking of not needing untapped mana, I guess I send these? Don't really need them. See what's on top here. We find more mana anyways. Okay. And we can swing with the Llanowar Elves. Whoa! Llanowar Elves is gonna die, guys. Oh no! Oh no, now we know why they dropped the mulligan. They're looking for combo pieces, right? That's probably why. Manifest Dread. Oh no, opponent, come back! It still could have started to lean towards them if they found a little bit of value, right? I mean, it did take them a while, and they went down to 4. I'm sorry, opponent. I'm sorry, buddy. Honestly, though, if they only had to mulligan once or something to find their combo, I think we would have been in some serious danger there, right? Because overall, I guess we were going a little bit slow, but it was a really good curve, too, so... I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, taking that curve into a more fair match is one of the goals today, I guess. That way we can actually showcase it properly. See, this seems pretty good, too. I don't even think we start with Molt Tender. I think we start with the Surveil. Storm Chaser's Talent. Speaking of a fair match. Uh-oh. Right, so Quag Feast is pretty good. That's great news. I guess I will get the Molt Tender down, guys. I guess we will. Yeah, since we have up to turn 3 here, untapped. Or turn 3 could be the Mortuary, do a 2-drop instead. Grey Catcher. Alright. Molt Tender actually held the Otter back for a turn, which is great news. So, Quag Feast can pop the Hatcher, which we probably want to do. It gets some stuff in the grave, too. probably mill off the Molt Tender as well. Yeah, we probably want to do this. All right. And then we have mana on the Molt Tender, but no 1-drops in hand, so we're going to just want to mill on that. Here comes Vivi. Uh-oh. I will accept that trade into the otter. Okay, they are passing it back here. Let's mill. Another Molt Tender. Oh. Overwhelming Remorse. We should probably use that on the Vivi. So we could risk it, though. We could try mill on the Origins and see if we can mill 2 creatures. That's probably a little too risky, right? Actually, if we mill 1 creature, we can use the Molt Tender. Get rid of the land. Well, maybe that could be good. Yeah, maybe that could be good. Let's see what we see on the Origins. And it's not mill, it's surveil, but... Okay. So we can send both of these. Play the Swamp. And we still have Overwhelming Remorse, and we should do it before they untap too, right? Yeah, we don't want any surprise protection, or we just don't want Vivi to survive at all, honestly, so... Keep all the creatures. We definitely want to keep the flashback on the Esper Origins for sure. Alright, we're at 22. The game has gone on past our 3rd turn. So, that's great news, man. Okay, Corey Steelcutter and 2nd Storm Chaser's Talent. It's still a really good swing for their turn, though. 5 getting through here. Okay. Right, so another Mortuary. We have Vanille. Mill 2. Or we could just go Esper Origins, honestly. That might be a little better than Vanille right now. Go back up to 19. It is a 4-4. A little bit of ramp next turn. Get both of our creatures down, maybe. Start with the Surveil on the Mortuary, I suppose. Fang. Dude. Nice. Right. Keep that on top. Esper Origins. And I guess I'm sorry, opponent. I'm sorry, buddy. I guess we want to keep as much of everything else as possible. Oh, see, like Summon Titan, it would have been good to actually keep that land there too. I actually don't know which one we want here now. I guess Fang still, because I want to do the Ragnarok thing. So we keep both of those on top. I like both of those. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right. And then next turn, we'll draw the Titan. Oh, 2nd Corey Steelcutter, guys. We're in danger. We are in danger. Well, it's going to be a bounce spell. Oh, no, guys. That was such a good blocker for us, too. Right. Well. Ow. Down to 6. Now, we do have... Okay. Okay. Okay, hold on. Hold on, guys. The deck list is melting my brain a little bit. First of all, the exile should have been the Overwhelming Remorse. That'll be the exile this time when we ramp with it. See, we have 5 mana Titan, but we kind of sort of... see, I was relying too much on the double green on the ad there, for sure. Start with the Surveil on the Mortuary. We can definitely Surveil land away. How do we get around this, guys? A huge wide board state from the opponent. I think we're in danger. If we do Origin, we only have 3 open for like an Exdeath. With 5 open anyways, it really should just be like Vanille to try to block wide. I apologize, opponent. I'm thinking, buddy. Stuck between a rock and a hard place, especially with the 2nd Corey Steelcutter coming down. I'm using the timers. Oh, I don't have any timers. We're in our combat phase now. Oh, no. Oh, no, I really am taking my time then, huh? I think we're dead next turn no matter what. Let's go back up to 8 and get our 3-drop down. I think we're dead. pretty much no matter what here, huh? Exdeath. Exdeath transforms. I guess that's okay too. And we'll take out the Overwhelming Remorse here. Yeah, really taking my time. I apologize, guys, but wanted to make sure I thought it through well and I wasn't missing anything. And there's a lot of options, I guess, overall. So we were able... Oh dear, it's an opt. Well, we're like I said, we're probably dead either way, but yeah, with 5 prowess creatures, and they didn't even play a monstrous rage yet this game. Into the Flood Mob, bounce our only blocker. Aw, man. All right, hey, good game, opponent, good game. Yeah, the Esper Origin extra life gain is actually really good, right? I don't have the 4th one yet, but I do think that the 4th one might actually be worth it. If they missed the bounce spell on the Origins, even if we ramped with the couple mana and was actually able to get a couple extra creatures down, we still probably would have died there, right? If they missed the bounce spells completely, if we kept the Esper Saga open as a blocker too, we still only would have had like 3 blockers. And if they missed the bounce spells, they would have just found something else anyways, right? Burst Lightning or Monstrous Rage. And then whatever we weren't able to block, they could have stacked Monstrous Rage on top of. So yeah, really, really in danger. I would say if they missed the second Quarry Steel Cutter, however, maybe we'd still be in that one. When it goes first, that's scary business, especially when our first card isn't until turn 3. But I'm going to give it a shot, man. Why not? Let's push the deck list to its absolute limits, huh? Hey, tapped land. Great news, man. All right. Also, really need to see that Ragnarok today, huh? Okay, Wildling. Grab a swamp. Nothing else. That's good. All right. Second mana established. Huskburster for just more top end in hand isn't terrific when we have no ways of getting stuff into the grave until Vanille. Another Wildling. They keep 2 mana open this time round. Second Vanille. It's all top end, buddy. Oh, buddy, oh, buddy. All right. Fang, Fearless Lassie. We have 2 of them, thank goodness, right? I think we're going to need 2 of them. And then next turn's going to be Vanille. And then, again, we're going to need 2 of them for sure against Golgari. And the good news is that wasn't an exile. So it actually helps us out a little bit by sending it to the grave. Actually, even if it was an exile, it helps us a little bit for Huskburster, but most of the cards in here we do want in the actual graveyard. Honest Rutstein's actually really good. That's actually really good, but I think I'm still going to start with the Vanille while we have the 4 open, especially since we have the second one in hand. Mill 2, return a permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. See what we mill here. Vanille is out of the equation, but Vanille number 2... still chilling in hand. This one might come down to who can get their top end first, and hopefully that means us. I might as well grab the second Fang, because we don't need the Llanowar Elves right now. And again, a lot of removal packed into Golgari deck lists usually, so... Also Golgari dragons, I suppose, or they just have some dragons. This time it is going to be exile removal. Again, it does help us towards the Huskburster, but usually we want stuff in the grave for this one, especially like Rutstein could come down and bring back the Vanille or something. They go for, oh, Restless Cottage chilling over there too, guys. That is actually terrible news. Thank goodness Huskburster still gets cheaper as they exile stuff. Right, so... 5th mana. If Rutstein survives, we can do multiple things next turn, which would be pretty nice, actually. If it's another exile for the Vanille in hand, then we're probably not reaching Ragnarok this game. So maybe we should go Rutstein. If this was an untapped source too for the turn, Rutstein into Exdeath would have been pretty good. Maybe maybe I'm overthinking it. Let's go Vanille. Maybe we don't really need Ragnarok. Oh, nice. Titan. Bring Titan to hand for sure. Yeah, I think we should utilize the mana while we have it, but also Vanille replacing herself, right, is kind of essential to keep up pace. As they go 1-for-1 trades, if it's a 1-for-1 into Vanille, Vanille's already putting extra cards into our hand, so it keeps our card advantage going. Ah, Scavenger Regent, very nice. Okay. So again, Honest Rutstein established would be ideal here before doing anything else, but Titan has reach and everything, blocks so well, and just excellent abilities overall too. I mean, milling 5 to give us significant ramp. Again, I think we just utilize... Oh man, they still have one open though too. It could be a cut down. If we go Rutstein, we could get Fang down. Maybe we can pull off Ragnarok. No. No, this is how I'm playing it safe, right? Get a bunch of cards into the grave here. Alright, no swings. Yeah, and double Titan's really good too, so we'll see what we can pull off, man. 3 mana in the grave. They do enter tapped off of this, but Disruptive Stormbrood. Oh, very nice opponent. Destroy up to 1 target artifact or enchantment when it enters. Yeah, that'll do, huh? That'll do it. Overwhelming Remorse for 1. Yeah, I don't really want to discard for the Regent. If we had more mana in hand, I mean, Titan and Remorse would be great. I'm probably going to take another 4 here. Dude, look at all of our options, man. Send help, huh? Oh, no. Oh, no, dude. Right, so let's panic. Everybody panic. Let's pop the 3/3, right, while we have it. Or we could, yeah, we could discard. The Regent's a much bigger threat, isn't it? Dude, I don't even know. I mean, we brought the Fang back. Let's get rid of the second Fang. That's okay. It's okay, guys. Everything's fine. Now, with Huskburster going down to 2, we can actually play Rutstein, bring it down to 1, and then play the Huskburster. Actually, we're not going to be able to play the Huskburster because we're bringing back a permanent, and we can't submit 0. Oh, well, crap. Well, crap. I had a plan, I swear, guys. I think I would have actually returned nothing if we had the option, right? If Rutstein reads, you may return, but no, you are forced to return. Yeah, I think I would have returned nothing just to get the swarm down. Because only playing 1 creature is super sketchy here. They actually go ahead, remove it, easy peasy with an exhale. Golgari Dragons is really sick. Caustic Exhale. Oh dear, guys. Oh dear. 4 pieces of spot removal. Well-placed spot removal at that. Hopefully that means... Also, I guess we can count the Stormbrood as spot removal too. Hopefully they miss the second Stormbrood because I feel like we need to get this Summon Titan down. Esper Origins is really good too. Get a 3 mana card down too. I think we just go for the Titan. And I think maybe I should have just went for the Titan again last time. The second Titan, right? But now we have 2 Titans back thanks to our Rutstein play last time too, so... Oh no, guys. Guys. Holy cow. Opponent. This is rough, man. Terrace under number 2 pops the Titan. We're taking 7 down to 2 here, and if we don't remove their 3/3, or if the Titan doesn't survive to block in the air, it doesn't matter. They swing wide. Holy cow, dude, we're getting picked apart. We have to be careful because deck lists like this do exist because there are so many powerful artifacts and enchantments that opponents love removing, right? So it makes sense. We could go back up to 4 with Origins, but then what, right? We have a blocker on the ground, 3 in the air. There's no guarantee that the blocker on the ground survives. 2 blockers on the ground. Llanowar Elves was actually pretty good. Yeah, that's actually pretty good, right? Yeah, we have to pretend that Titan's just not going to survive here. So we're going to get our other 2 1-drops down. Keep Quag Feast because we need to remove their flyer. All right, Huskburster Swarm. I'm using all the timers today, guys, for this video. My goodness. Also, more mana could have been pretty good, but again, second ability on Titan, yeah. Yeah, going up to 4, take 3 in the air. Restless Cottage tries to swing on the ground. We have a blocker with the Swarm. If they remove the Swarm, then I guess we chump with the Llanowar Elves just to survive the turn, but then we're in the same situation next turn. So Quag Feast pops the flyer, and we can only play one of our 3 mana cards. So it'll come down to, are they going to miss the spot removal? Ah, Terrace under. Hey, this is great news, though. Restless Cottage not powering up, which keeps our chump blocker for next turn, actually. That is huge for us, man. So we go Quag Feast here. We could actually start with Esper Origins, go back up to 3, Surveil, try to get a land on top, draw the land on the summon. If it's a tapped land, though, we won't have Quag Feast, so we can't risk that, right? We can't risk it. All right, Esper Origins going to the grave, in desperate need of the 6th mana, and I bet the opponent's thinking the same thing, honestly. Getting Fang down, we don't want to lose that 1 life on accident or something, so let's get the Exdeath down. And yeah, no matter what, we couldn't really... Oh, gaining 3 on Exdeath is something I've been overlooking too, guys. It's a 15-3. 15-3 trample right now. Holy cow. Yeah, I've been overlooking the 3 life on the Exdeath for sure. Oh, bro, the board wipe comes through. Holy cow. Right, so we want to continue gaining life here, but if we could get the summon down, if it can actually survive, 3 Terra Sunders out of their deck list. We're at 4. We can still go Esper Origins, get the Molt Tender, and that's still the safest bet, right? Dude, dude, everyone, I'm so sorry, man. This is melting my brain. It might not be the deck list. It might just be how I'm performing in Magic today, but a lot of options. I'm gonna risk the Titan play, I think. I think the Titan play has been the right play for much of this game, but the opponent's deck list is just built to pop enchantments. All right, tap land, that's good news. That means if they do pop Titan... Oh, it's another Stormbrood! Guys, what's happening? Oh no. Oh no. That's really, really bad. Okay, well, Esper Origins, we can... We have Molt Tender. We need Molt Tender, actually. I think I'm gonna send both of these. Yeah, we need 2 chump blockers no matter what. I don't know what's gonna be on top, but it's fine if it's not a permanent. It is a permanent. That's actually good then. So we can actually get the mana down still. Get the Molt Tender down. Yeah, they got 3 in the air. We need, no matter what, 2 chump blockers in case they find mana spot removal, power up Cottage on the same turn. They find an Up the Beanstalk, which is not good news, guys. Okay, Up the Beanstalk number 2, not good news. The good news right now is they couldn't power up Cottage for the turn. So maybe we can do something fancy on our turn. Uh-oh. They're looking at our Esper. They still got 2 mana open. It's gonna be spot removal for the Esper. Dude. Alright, down to 3. We don't get ramp here. Alright, I guess we start with the life gain. Kinda have to, right? Zanarkand could be decent. Blocks well on the ground, but we still need an answer for these flying dragons for real. Alright. Let's see. Let's see what's on top here. Like I said, even if it's not a permanent, if we can find another Quag Feast or something, it's going to be a Fabled Passage, which is actually pretty good, man. Thin the deck list. We only have 12 cards remaining in the deck, guys. 11 cards remaining now. Well, got to be very careful with Fang's ability. Very careful. Rutstein should come down. We should pick up the Titan, right? We also had Vanille and everything too. We have 1 mana impending, which is probably not worth it because we really, really don't want to mill here. Keep all of our creatures as blockers on the ground because the opponent's deck list is removal. The whole thing is removal, man. They just swing in the air. So they didn't swing with Cottage. Down to 2. Brooding Dragonstorm. No! Good game, opponent. Good game. What an uphill battle, man. If any of the Titans actually could have stuck on the board, I'll tell you what, opponent's Golgari Dragons list looks terrifying. Any deck list we would have brought against this would have been pretty devastated by it, right? It's ready for even hyper aggro. Now, granted, the 3 Terra Sunder probably doesn't deal with hyper aggros as much as it would like to, but there's still enchantments and stuff to hit. And then even so, they can still spend the 4 mana with the kicker cost. That being said, too, the Stormbrood ETB, I mean, not only is it built to deal with hyper aggro, but just other mid-range deck lists too. Holy cow, man. Really cool Golgari deck opponent. I should have dropped the nice deck emoji for sure. Alright, guys, one more. I apologize for how poorly I am playing today. Actually, I don't know if I'm playing poorly. I'm just playing very slowly. So I apologize for that. Hey, if you're enjoying the video, by the way, make sure you actually drop it a like. And if you enjoy the channel, consider subscribing as well. And guys, down in the description, we have that Discord link as well as that Patreon link too, if you're interested in joining either of those up or supporting the channel that way. So thank you, thank you. Also, let me know in the comments for sure. Am I playing it okay? Am I being a little silly? Is it easier to play than I'm thinking? So we actually have an option here with, oh, you know what? We could have started with Fabled Passage to get something into the grave for the ramp on the Molt Tender. But we can really see why I opted for 3 Molt Tenders and 4 Llanowar Elves instead for that ramp into our 3-drop. The Molt Tender dies anyways, so it doesn't really end up mattering here too much. And right into Overlord of the Balemurk. Impending. Oh, nice. Second Summon Titan. It's pretty good, but I think I'll grab Vanille. This is the game, guys. This is the game where we do the thing. I mean, going first here, probably pretty essential. Now, Rutstein next turn, we can also grab the second Titan. Oh, they start their engines. We have to be ready for a momentum breaker then for sure. Ooh, what are you? Sacrifice another creature or artifact, draw a card. Oh, it's a demon. It's an early demon. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. Come on down, Rutstein. Let's grab. We have a second Titan. We drew a second Titan, guys. Holy cow. I guess another Overlord would be pretty good against Mono Black because they can take their time, and then the Impending. Well, demons are pretty fast though still. A third Titan versus demons is actually pretty good, I guess. I don't know, man. I have no idea. Because are we gonna, like, Titan one turn, it dies. Titan second turn, it dies. Titan third turn, maybe it survives, right? So Titan, Titan, Titan. Oh no, Rutstein's dead anyways, so we're gonna have to start with Vanille here and hope for a 5th mana. Okay, Overlord of the Balemurk's pretty good. We can grab pretty much anything here, but I'm just going to grab a forest based on our hand. Alright, Vanille, come on down. Mill 2, return a permanent. And I guess Fabled Passage makes the most sense to further deck thin too, and we don't need much past that. So Fabled Passage makes the most sense to me. It goes back to the grave to be picked up by the Titan's second chapter anyways. The opponent finds their 3rd mana. It's going to be Unholy Annex, and they do have the demon on the board, so... Down to 16. We do find our 5th mana, but it's tapped mana, so we definitely want Fabled Passage here instead. And this time we can grab a swamp. And let's get that Titan down, huh? Honestly, they probably trade into Vanille here, right? Or maybe they take the 3. A trade would be fine because they might not have the guaranteed 4th, because you'd think they would have played the 2nd swamp over the 2nd raceway. So they do take the 3. Number one, if we were planning on swinging with Vanille, you'd want to do that before the Titan. They're more likely to take the 3 if they think you might have a combat trick up your sleeve. But I wasn't planning on attacking until I really thought about it there. Yeah, they do find their 4th though, so a bigger demon could still come down. And then hopefully our Titans really do the job. Oh, still a small demon here. Oh, a couple small demons. This is actually scary, dude. Unholy Annex keeping their hand nice and stocked. They actually have max speed now too for when it comes time to gain life on the Momentum Breaker. We get significant ramp here. Quag Feast is actually really good, but oh crap, we're gonna mill it from the 2nd Titan, guys. Crap. Okay, well, this is awkward, huh? Hopefully we can just push this through with all the Titans. Only have 1 open after the swing. This is a great block into Vanille here, since they can't swing with this until it has a counter. We're going to keep Vanille as a chump blocker for the turn. Let's see what they end up doing with Titan. Because it would be a great triple block for us. So I'm pretty sure they take the 7. They don't know we have a 2nd Titan in hand. We play it. Mill 5. Yeah, we should have just sent the Quag Feast because it was going to get milled either way, right? Even if we were just playing Overlord of the Balemurk. Sending the Quag Feast would have just helped us search even deeper for even more lands in the grave to come back or whatever, which actually we only have 1 land in the grave right now. 1, 2, 3, 7, and 13 lands on the board, guys. If this Titan can survive, right, until end of turn, another target creature you control gains trample and +X, where X is the number of lands you control. then we can plug that onto like Overlord of the Balemurk or Vanille probably, because Overlord already has a small target on its back, being a 5/5. So they want to keep open instant speed spot removal. Uh-oh, guys. Uh-oh, they spend triple black mana on drawing 3 and losing 3. GG opponent. Wow, Titan's carrying us there. Holy cow. Oh man, I know one thing. I wish I would have practiced a little bit more with this deck list, huh? But the opponents were giving us a lot of tough situations, weren't they? So, I don't know. I can't tell if it was me or if it is a pretty hard deck list to play. Not 100% certain. Here's the deck list again, guys. A much different version than Golgari Graveyard that we've been seeing. The Golgari Graveyard that we've been seeing runs up the beanstalk and a whole bunch of these top-end creatures that get cheaper as you get stuff into the grave, which is definitely a very powerful strategy. And up the beanstalk, keeping your hand stocked, much better than something like Fang, Fearless Lassie, especially since it's really hard to keep creatures on the board at any given moment, huh? Couple of MVPs for sure, Esper Origins and Summon Titan. And most of those games there, especially once we got into the mid game, we were just like, I guess we just do Titan, right? And then it gets into the grave or something, we're like, I guess we just bring back Titan, right? Off of a Rutstein. So it's just an absolute MVP here on the top end where we were leaning into it a little bit too often, I would say. So maybe we actually just want 4 of these too. A couple things held us up in that one long game against Golgari Dragons too. Number one, their infinite amount of spot removal and ways to remove our enchantments. That's one thing. But number two was actually the Rutstein play, where I thought we were going to be able to play Huskburster Swarm after the Rutstein because it was going to be costing 1 less. However, Rutstein forces you to return a creature card from your graveyard to your hand. We did that. It's a little bit of card advantage, I guess, in that sense, I suppose, right? It replaces itself. But then the Huskburster cost 2 again instead of the 1, so we didn't have the open mana for the Swarm. Speaking of open mana, guys, it would have been nice to have more mana in a lot of those games. And check this out. We only got 23 in here, which actually seems pretty sketchy for what we're doing. But with ramp on Molt Tender, ramp on Llanowar Elves, and ways to bring back permanents from our grave, I don't know. I think if we go up to 24, it could work. 25, you're probably going to end up flooding too much, or you're going to end up like milling too many land when you really want to mill creatures or something instead. So it really depends. This Exdeath is definitely one to keep an eye on. I think it's going to be so easy to flip this, but also you got to keep your eye on just gaining 3 life. Life gain goes a really long way in the current standard, especially when it comes packed onto a body that can also block pretty well, or a body in the late game that could just wrap up the game. If the opponent missed removal, they ended up wiping the board, right? But if they missed removal for the Neo Exdeath, it was 15 power in that late game. Which again probably isn't going to be unheard of, especially if you are getting into that late game. For that really long Golgari match, that is one, not only was it completely melting my brain, but also there has to be optimized plays to go back and watch and see exactly where it could have been optimized, right? Because it was such a long game that it's really hard to tell what's the best play to give you the most value at any given time, right? So that's one to go back and watch for sure, and I'll see if I can learn from that one. More Overwhelming Remorse? Yeah, probably should. At least 2, maybe 3. And what would I drop for that? Probably a Molt Tender down to 2, and maybe the Resentful Revelation, which we didn't get to see today, unfortunately. So Molt Tender down, Resentful Revelation down, go up a couple Overwhelming Remorse, and that'll probably be pretty good for you. Now, this does care about having creatures in the grave. Dropping 1 Molt Tender isn't going to do too much. It still gives us 27 creatures. Almost half the deck list are creatures that'll help get Overwhelming Remorse cheaper. And really, you don't want to spend more than 3 mana on this. Hopefully, you can get it down to 2 mana. And then in that mid-game, hopefully it's 1 mana more often than not. So right now, I'm just going to drop Molt Tender down to 2, go up the Overwhelming Remorse up to 2. That's going to be my change. We are leaning black but Verge taps for green. Yeah, by making that change, we are actually leaning towards the swamps now, but Verge taps for a green until you have forest or swamp on the board, which includes Mortuary, and which includes our double Fabled Passage too, however. So Verge should be fine. Also, it's pretty essential to have untapped early green source for Llanowar Elves or for Molt Tender. Also, guys, if you don't like that I dropped the Molt Tender, you could do 3 Elves, 3 Molt Tender. Easily. But I think those games showcased why I opted for Elves over the Tender, right? Although the mill strategy, you know, I mean, if you're not using it as ramp, then the extra mill could help. But I still think the Llanowar Elves, getting a turn 2 3-drop in this deck is pretty huge, especially if it's like Honest Rutstein. You don't even have to utilize that top ability, just making everything cheaper in your hand is essential. Then if you actually hit your 3rd mana and have Rutstein on the board, you can still drop 2 more 3-drops from your hand if you ramped into it on turn 2 off of Llanowar Elves. You're asking for a lot at that point because that means Llanowar Elves and Rutstein somehow survived, but I don't know if it's going to be completely unheard of sometimes to have Llanowar Elves, turn 2 Rutstein, turn 3, drop an Exdeath and a Fang or something, right? That would be pretty silly, though, I would say. Or I guess more realistically, maybe it would be Llanowar Elves, turn 1, turn 2 Rutstein, then, well, no, I don't know what would be more realistic, honestly. I was going to say, if Llanowar Elves dies, but if they're going to kill Llanowar Elves, they're going to pop the Rutstein instead, for sure. For sure, they're going to let the Llanowar Elves survive, which could open up the possibility of like turn 3 Vanille then or something. You could bring back the Rutstein off the Vanille's ability. By the way, the Vanille's ability is actually pretty sick because when you're milling the 2, you don't have to return something from the 2. It's just straight up a permanent card. So being able to return a land or something is actually pretty significant in a deck list like this. The extra life gain on Esper Origins, this is another one too that we probably want 4 of, but I don't have the 4th, and the Titan I don't have the 4th either. So 3 and 3 for now. For me, at least. But if you guys have the 4th, then maybe. Also, guys, put it on the Do Not Craft list. There's definitely going to be a better way to put together Golgari Graveyard, right? It's already like... It's already kind of established with the Up the Beanstalk route. I'm not saying that's the route, like that's fixed, right? Or I'm not saying that it's solved, but it's probably a better way to put it together than this. This way might be more fun. Maybe. Either way, put it on the Do Not Craft list, guys. It was pretty janky, and it was really hard for me to run, too. So after this one, I hope I can play a deck list that's a little easier for me. I need a little bit of a breather, right? I'm still looking at the Resentful Revelation on the chopping block, too, but I'm keeping it for now, so... Yeah, I think that's everything, guys. If you made it this far into the video for real, y'all are champions. I super duper appreciate you. Let me know what you thought of the deck list. Definitely let me know what would you add or take out. Do you think it was neat enough to have the Fang and the Vanille to potentially meld into Ragnarok? Or do you think this whole concept should just be dropped for more powerful cards, right? Not everything has to be competitive, though, so I don't know. I like it, and I'll be returning to try to meld Ragnarok in the future at some point. Maybe in a 3-color deck list instead. Maybe Sultai could be pretty good. Sultai, we might actually be able to run some counter spells, which would be pretty essential for certain, like protecting certain creatures and stuff, right? Yeah, that could be cool. Let me know if you're interested in a Sultai version of this deck list too. Guys, enough rambling, huh? If you made it this far in, thank you for being here. You are a champion for real, and I will see you in the next video.